Boom.
Boom out there, exactly. Hey guys, welcome. We are starting a new platform and we're going to do something real fun. So bear with us. One moment while Rudy and I both go out there and do a watch party to get more people on
Yeah,
the call.
let me do a watch party right now.
Yeah. So let's do that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I've got mine going and let me get me back up here. All right. Let's do that. Okay, Rudy, I don't see your face. All I see is your picture.
Okay, I am coming right quick because I am.
Okay, all right, cool.
There's so many people who are online who
I
said,
know,
you know
this
what?
is exciting, dude. This is
I
exciting.
really want to be part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, man, are you ready?
I am ready. If you want to come back live and we'll see if we both showing up here on the screen. Can't join the Zoom, says you have another meeting in progress. Peggy said that. Let me get Peggy a note real quick. All right, just send that to Peggy. She's going to join us in just a moment. And Rudy, are you still with me?
I'm here.
All right, let's, can you start your video so that people can see you, or is that possible?
Let me see. Oh, I thought my video was on.
No, it's...
Okay.
There you are. Hey, there you are, my brother. All righty.
Oh, great. Perfect.
All right.
Can you see
Boom
me?
to you, Rudy.
Boom, 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 my brother. What's going on today?
Hey, man, what a great day. We're both live on the air now together. How about that? Yes.
Awesome. That's
hey,
awesome.
welcome
That's
to this
awesome.
new format, folks. Thank you for bearing with us for a few moments. The code did change because we got so sophisticated, or I tried to, that it scheduled these meetings. So we got a new code. We put that out there, but we are now on Facebook Live, Rudy.
Awesome. You know, today I was just thinking about what we're gonna say, and it kept running through my mind so many things about what we think about being busy. You know, we all use this analogy of I'm so busy and things are running. I'm busy. I'm running up and down. There's so many things going on in my life, you know. But what do you think about somebody who says who is really busy? Because I have something really written out nicely for somebody who is busy. Just wanted to get your opinion on that.
I love it, and hello to Charles and Peggy for joining us as well. You know, it's so funny you mentioned that, because that is such a holy moly topic, because how many times are we just busy? And I think the best analogy is, if you're going to scramble eggs, you crack them open, you put them in the bowl, you start flipping them and scrambling them, and you're busy. Totally. But you never get scrambled eggs until you put them in the pan to scramble. You're just busy, and pretty soon they're just going to froth to mush, I guess. But that's what we do in life. We scramble, and we're busy, just rearranging stuff all the time.
Right. You know, I was thinking about being busy. I was thinking about the four different kinds of people that I'm thinking about being busy. First of all, being busy means laziness. Exactly. And laziness is, you know, somebody's gonna, whoever's watching this might feel offended by this, but that's okay. Because if you say you're busy, I'm thinking about laziness, you being looking at, okay, the task that of course tasks are time consuming, and if you allocate a task and you say this task I'm going to take 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 25 or maybe an hour to complete this task, and it doesn't take that, you know, maybe it doesn't take that time frame that you set for the task, and it probably take more time, and you feel like, oh, say I'm very, very busy right now, because people want to come to you and they feel like, oh, what are you doing? You say, I'm super busy, because maybe, you know, somebody want to ask you something, or there's another task that you're supposed to do, but
Right.
you realize because you put yourself so focused on being so busy, at the end of the day, you occupy yourself by doing this particular task. But I classify that to being lazy. What do you think about that?
I totally agree. And hello to Bev. She joined us as well. I totally agree. It's laziness, and it's also avoidance too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and when you were talking that, I just thought, I just got off a phone call with a guy, and I said, "Look, I'm just super busy today. Let's meet next week." So I'm a culprit. I'm a victim of this. I mean, I sinned. I did that. But I think there's a difference between being busy and prioritizing for results.
Right.
A big difference. But I love your analogy of being busy is really being lazy, because you're not getting the results you want. At the same time, you're not committing to getting the results you want.
Totally. It really boils down to the second one, because at the end of the day, you're looking at being busy. And just like you said, the other side of being busy, which we're going to talk about towards the end of today's presentation, is actually about the ability to leverage your time.
Right.
The ability to leverage your time. But the second aspect I'm looking at being busy is also weakness, because a weakness means you're out of control. You're out of control of your time, and it's a weakness because so many times we are all over the place. There's something. I listened to somebody yesterday in our group. He was, saying he had ADHD and all these things, and ADD, and all these things. We hear about these things all the time, and the truth is, medically is over diagnosis.
Right.
Because I was reading, so it pushed me to read a little bit about it, and what's it all about? The overdiagnosis that has been plaguing us in the recent years. I wasn't in the 50s, but I'm sure you agree with me that in the 50s, when a kid is overactive, maybe in school, or maybe is lazy to do something, the teacher will, of course, will classify the kid as being lazy.
Right.
But today, if a kid exhibit the same characteristics, they're classified as being, ADD or whatever.
Right.
And those diagnoses, you realize, we, the parents, it's what you already have in your mind. And when you go to the doctor, you're primarily telling the doctor what the doctor should tell you. You already have in your mind what you want the doctor to tell you. And at the end of the day, the kid is going to have this, ADD disease and diagnosis, and all drugs and stuff comes into place, and all everything. But at the end of the day, it's all about, the reason why I brought that in is because sometimes we're looking at out of control. We think about ourselves as being so busy, and we easily distracted by things that come in our lives. It's just like a notification that you have on your phone, and you really want to study, or you want to work, but you have your notification alarm on your phone. And how do you expect you to focus on your task? Because you get all these notifications that keep coming, and it's so easy to get distracted because they'll keep coming, and as they come, your mind shifts to it. You're in the meeting and you have your phone on vibration. Why the hell do you have your phone on vibration when you're in the meeting?
Exactly.
Yeah, because as soon as your phone vibrates, guess what? You're disconnected from the meeting, and your mind goes right down to your pocket, and you're already thinking that's already out of control of your time.
That's so true. And you hit on a big thing there about being diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, or anything else. What you've just done is you've put a label on something, and that label has become an excuse.
Right.
And nothing against the fact that is a serious diagnosis, and that it does require serious attention.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But there are people that see that and use that as an excuse.
Right.
And
a weakness.
And a weakness, exactly. And both those things together result in busyness. To avoid it, because I've got this issue. Hey, to Ryan and to I'm gonna butcher this name. Or hello, Jose. please pardon me if I butchered your name. But that's exactly right, and you're right about the phone too. I mean, we become so conditioned, this little thing going off and us looking at it, so conditioned to it. And I know even to the point when we go to the meetings, and even especially like with the meetings with Mr. Bugs, we're told as adults, turn off your phone.
Right.
We shouldn't be told that. That should just be part of your practice and the courtesy that goes with it. That to me is also part of edification, that you
Absolutely.
turn it off because you're edifying, you want to hear what the person has to say. But you're so
Absolutely.
right about the vibration, and your mind goes there, and then you think,
Right.
okay, well, I have ADHD. I'm ADD.
Right.
No, you're not paying attention.
Absolutely. The other thing I'm looking at when it comes to being busy is fear. Fear of taking responsibilities, because it's so easy for you to shy away in the workplace setting.
Right.
There's somebody, there's a classification of somebody called a hider. A hider in a workplace setting is somebody that preoccupy themselves with simple tasks and over exaggerate the time frame required to complete this task, and that deviates or deprive their supervisor from actually assigning a new task to them, because they exaggerate this time frame required to complete a simple task. And that's a hider, and they actually fear, they have an anxiety to take on a new task, which probably they have little or no idea about. They have an anxiety to take on anything challenging, and it all boils down to our lives, because it's just like when we're moving from Traverse Global to ibüümerang, we have a significant amount of people who weren't able to make that switch, who were comfortable in having that change. And they were people were, I mean, I know people, who are still part of TG, and which is great, but the thing is, when I asked them, how are you, looking at ibüümerang, and they just dismiss the idea of ibüümerang because they feel like the change is very intimidating.
Right.
They wouldn't accept the change because they feel like I asked this lady who's, apparently we're in the same leadership group, and fortunately enough, we were having a conversation. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" She said, "I said, so we had gotten a business conversation. I realized she was part of TJ, and that was fun. I was fascinated. I was like, wow, that's cool. We could have a ibüümerang conversation and everything." She said, "But I'm too busy with TG. I haven't really taken the time to learn ibüümerang stuff and the trainings." I said, "So that's, I mean, I just brought that example because it's so clear of how busy we can be, which is an aspect of fear of an unexpected outcome."
Oh, absolutely. Shout out. Got a lot of new people joining us. Rich and Kenny just joined us. Peggy has a great comment too. She says, evaluate if your time is taken with productive activities or if you're busy with meaningless tasks to avoid the harder work that may be out of your comfort zone. And that's where we talk about that fear thing. In fact, I had a quote this morning that I put out there. I said, to live a creative life, and I'm going to say substitute creative to successful. To live a successful life, we must lose our fear of being wrong. And that's what happens. And when you describe the person from PG there, they weren't afraid of learning something new. They were afraid that they may do something wrong, and they were in their comfort zone of where they were. And what did we learn so far about ibüümerang versus other opportunities? When you're in that comfort zone and that fear kicks in, guess what? You're leaving money on the table.
Absolutely. You just hit on something very, very vital. Shout out to everybody who is online with us today.
I'm loving this. This is awesome.
It's amazing. I'm looking at you said something wrong, but I'm also looking at something missing, because that's a very clear distinction. How many times we classify things to be wrong, we classify things to be different, but what's really missing in the midst of that classification? What's missing? What's the evidence of something missing? Like, what is it that I can put in place to make sure that this actually exists, rather than classifying something to be wrong? That's the whole point that we all miss sometimes, because we evaluate things to be out of place. Things that are out of place, we consider them to be wrong.
Right. Well, and as you were talking, it just made me think that, I mean, you're in the medical profession, in the medical and the scientific world. You look for what is missing, because if something is missing, that's preventing you from getting to the results of a cure or results of a breakthrough of some type. Whereas I think when we're over on the sales, marketing, just living life side of things, we kind of skirt away from what's missing, because we'll just substitute something else for it. And you know what? That substitution may be what's wrong.
Right. totally. It's just like you said about, and it boils down to even like engineering or mechanics or electricity or
Right.
electronics or computer engineering, all this stuff, or a technician. W- if your car breaks down, it's not something wrong, it's something missing. Maybe
Right.
it's an existence of something that was, maybe your gas is out, so the gas is missing from your car. It's not,
Mhm.
so you're going to look at what's missing in the place of making that, or in the place of making that car walkable, in the place of making your lifestyle walkable, in the place of making your workplace walkable. What's missing in place of, to make that efficient.
Oh, you know what? As you were talking about what's missing, Holton Bugs came to my mind, of course, our CEO, because
Yeah,
if you think about, I mean, Holton Bugs and when David Manning from Traverse Extreme Travel, they got together and
right,
they created the iboomerang concept.
correct,
That in itself was so monumental that we could have rode that horse for the rest of the time that we're doing this. But
right,
what did Holton Bugs do? He asked, "What's missing?
right,
What's
right,
missing?" And the first thing
absolutely,
he found was we need to have a rideshare program,
totally,
and that's launching in a couple of weeks. And then he said, "We need to do something about the cellular service, and we need to get a plan that everyone can afford." I mean,
yes,
it's that whole thing of, what if, what's missing, and
yes,
that's where we are with everything. I it's just mind blowing that what we're talking about just relates to nearly every second of our lives.
absolutely. You spoke about Mr. Box today, and if you look at the lead, if you go to a YouTube channel and look at the leadership videos that's been posted, it's less than 5 minutes each video, and it's good because he hits on, he's straight on the point. He's a target to something which is very, very vital. And
Right.
like you were saying about what is missing, he actually was looking at what's missing in the industry. What can we put in place to make
Right.
sure, like what
Right.
can we put in place to make sure, which means he sees an opportunity, he sees a possibility of creating something different,
Yeah.
which hasn't been in place before, which is one of the reasons why people fail, one of the reasons why people quit, which is one of the reasons why people won't succeed. And we all having this bad name about what the industry is all about because people fail. But he's looking at opportunity to create something which is missing. What can we put in place so that people will succeed and we'll bring our name back, and brand name, and people will be able to create a successful life for themselves.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely love that. Before we finish up, just some more shout outs to Diane and Brenda and Cindy for joining us. But Charles and Kelly both have some real powerful thing. And Charles said, by the way, he's going to rename this broadcast to the Bart and Rudy's Power Hour. So we appreciate that, Charles. But Kelly says that we're told if you do something as simple as making your bed each morning,
Yes,
that's a good way to start the day because that's one thing that's been accomplished. You've accomplished
absolutely.
something with that. And Charles adds that some people act like they're too busy to take a look at, what we do here, but they
Yes,
just took the time to look. It could give them more time freedom in the future.
in the future. Oh my God, Charles, you are so on spot. You are so on spot right there because that's the whole point about human beings. That's the whole point about our reasoning.
Mhm.
Because people always think about they don't have time. They'll have time to respond to write you a long text message
Right.
that describing why they don't want to take that time
Hmm.
to look at a 10-minute or 5-minute video, which the
Right.
same time they were using what looking at the video, but they'll prefer to take that 5 minutes or 10 minutes to write a very long text describing why they wouldn't do it.
Right.
It's just one of the craziest things that we deal with every day, but it's part of life, and that's how we deal with. But at the end of the day, we who've been privileged to use this opportunity,
Right.
we have a huge responsibility to go out there and keep on sensitizing people, because we can't change the world in a day, but we're just gonna have to keep doing it consistently,
Right.
so that because somebody's not gonna change their mind today or tomorrow,
Right.
next week, but over time, our sequential commitment or sequential activities is gonna give us the outcome that we expect.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Rudy, for someone who really wants to learn more about what we do here and be part of this chat that we have, and we welcome anyone who's listening. if you want to be part of this, just get with Rudy or me and we'll get you on here, have you be part of this totally unscripted just dialogue that we have. How can someone find out more information?
Man, this today actually has been a mind-blowing experience. I'm just going to talk about a little bit about the Uber driver who drove me home yesterday, and we're having a conversation. Like that was around 11:30 p.m. and he said, how was work today? I said, work was fantastic. So he said, are you from work? Right? I said, no, I left work. I went to a leadership meeting, a business meeting. Then I'm going home. He said, oh wow, that's cool. What kind of leadership? Like if I may ask. So I said, okay, we are transforming the minds of people on how to live life powerfully, how to take care of their finances, how to start new business opportunities for themselves. I said, oh wow, that sounds interesting. That's something that I'm also interested in, things like that. I said, okay, this is my business card. Let's get in contact, because I'm putting my place in the position of authority where he should be able to reach out because he is interested in getting more information about it. And he is reaching out. I think he texted me today, just introducing himself. I said, okay, that's cool. I'm going to talk to you later this evening. So, but for somebody watching this video, it takes some time to look at this, because it's not about business. It's more about your life. It's more about your life. Maybe somebody sent out this video to you, or you watch it maybe on YouTube, or you can put a comment on the channel, put a comment and say, please tell me more. And we're going to provide you more information. But if you just want to check out the technology, what's this thing all about? What are they really talking about? We're able to provide you the technology, what it is. It's free. Just put in the comment, me. I'm going to get back to you, and you'll be able to test out this technology and see what we do and see how you can create an opportunity for yourselves and for your family.
Absolutely. And guys, tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Central time, we will be doing a true opportunity call here on this Zoom. And let me give everyone here right now the Zoom ID. I'll put it out on Facebook and doing the marketing piece, but it's 898-708-828. Once again, 898-708-828. That is our permanent meeting thing for our scheduled meetings here. But join us tonight and you'll see what we're talking about here. Rudy, I absolutely love doing this with you. I can't wait till tomorrow. I like the new format. I mean, this is working pretty well for us.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. All right, but I'll talk to you tonight, man.
Okay. Boom, everybody. Have a good one.
Have a good one, bro.